laying here trying to sleep. Whoa, so much going through my mind. God. So weird, I remember my childhood, remembering times that were so much better. Think how far I've fallen to be in this position. For the world to be this way. When you're young, they feed you so much hope, promise, I was fed so many promises. Trust us. Trust us, we love you. Trust us, we're here to protect you. Trust us, we're your friends, we care about you. Trust us, everything's great. One day everything's going to be so amazing. Right? You grow up and you just learn that everything you've ever been told is a lie. And you have no friends. The family breaks up, falls apart, or dies off on you and leaves you alone. You're just stuck having to be a slave to money, just to try to survive. It's so fucking disturbing seeing just how damn evil this country is and this fucking world is, I don't know. I got brainwashed, when I was a kid, just like everybody else. Maybe to a lesser extent, though, but I remember all the war movies and being inundated with so much patriotism, pledging allegiance to the flag every day. Or watching war movies. Thinking it was cool. Like it was some kind of game. The innocent naivety, of just not understanding, not understanding that what was really happening with. I'd found myself in a world where murder and violence, genocide were things that people cheered for. I found myself in a world where the idea of heroism and the ultimate good and right people are taught to think of in this world as the act of organized murder. So crazy. God, how much did I drink? I just feel like terrible, you know? Just starting to wonder if I had like 2 6-packs or something. Of like 20. Of about 20 ounces, you know? Oh, God. Whatever the hell happened to me to leave me in this position. God, it fucking hurts so much over years just realizing all this stuff. That's hard, you know? Waking up to things and realizing just how much everything is bullshit. Realizing just how damn evil it is. I mean, how evil damn near everyone on the fucking in the world is, basically. It's not just, I mean, mostly it's the people in control, it's the people in charge of everything that are the people that are orchestrating and organizing all this evil. But I mean, it's only made possible by the large masses of people going along with it and supporting it. But they're basically it's in this, you know, zombified trance or something, like hypnotic trance or whatever. People don't have a clue what the hell's going on in the world. Yeah, my stomach. I don't know, man. Things have been screwed up in the world for a long time, it's the truth of the matter. But not the same as it is now, you know? Yeah, it's harder for me to ignore shit because, well, that's one thing, is this: I haven't been in a position to where I was able to have the kind of quality of life to be able to ignore how bad things are, and to not, I mean, so much fucking horrible stuff going on in the world, you know? Continuing. This world to me seems so extremely inhumane, so incredibly wicked that it boggles the mind as to how this level of debauchery and fucking wickedness could even be humanly possible. And it doesn't seem like it could be. It's like, I don't know what the heck this place is. It's some kind of Matrix Truman Show hell kind of thing. It's a fucking completely rigged game now, man, you know? The weird disconnect that people have from one another now is, and from the reality of the situation in the world. How could something like this happen? How did I wake up in a world? I mean, the level of evil in this world, the level of sadism, the level of just fucking extreme wrong in this world, where we're at now, you know? It's like, impossible. It seems like it would be impossible. And there's a bunch of things that I could point out that seem like very clear evidence for this, you know? Everything seems to be orchestrated, organized, uh, ritualistic, and fake, you know? Like, all the big events that come on the news and stuff, you know? And on some level, probably, possibly, I don't know how fake it is, but it wouldn't surprise me if wars were fake. It wouldn't surprise me if the footage of World War II we have is just some Hollywood production, and most of the tanks were just balloons or something. I know that sort of stuff exists. I know that there are balloons that look like tanks, and there are, you know, there's all sorts of stuff that's like, if, mass organized wars and people getting blown up and shooting each other and stuff, if all that is real, then that's incredibly fucking evil, obviously. But, the psyops that are being fucking pulled on us are even, like, really sick in a lot of ways. I mean, oh, God. I don't know, man. It's crazy. And the shit it's so freaking disturbing, I don't know. Most people don't know about or don't think about or don't believe that, a lot of the stuff. Well, like most people think that all these events that go on, that come on the news and stuff like that, they think it's all true, that it's all really happening. As disturbing as that would be, can you imagine how disturbing it is to find out time and time again the events that are portrayed there are fake, but instead are some kind of strange fucking, like, black magic ritual or something? Like, I mean, like 9/11, Sandy Hook, the Kirk thing, the COVID crap, or, a lot of things. Most people don't notice the sort of shit that I notice, though. So they're able to feel okay about this shit going on, but we're talking about all the Simpsons predictions and things, like, it's just, and, Barron Trump books, and, cartoons and a bunch of other stuff like predicting 9/11 and, just on and on and on and on. So many things. Things that are. What's really disturbing is how fucking obvious and how blatantly obvious so much of it is. But in the meantime, as obvious as it is, almost nobody seems to notice. It's horrifying. I don't know what to do. If this is hell, then it's an extra disturbing hell. Cruel and sadistic one. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I mean, I could get up and eat some barbecued ribs, or I could get an ice cream bar. I can watch movies and listen to music. If I wanted to, I could play video games if I had my video game stuff even here with me. But But the whole fabric of society and my whole life is like stolen from me, though, basically, by this world that worships, you sex, money, and blood, basically. And I just want to fucking. The worst thing that has been done to us within my lifetime and within, I don't know, within the last 20 years is that our sense of community, our sense of our family is everything, So many of us are the human connection that existed between people has been severed. We've been cut off, isolated, and it's not just our money or our chances of getting ahead that have been stolen from us. It's any chance or any hope of a future where we have meaningful, loving relationships, where we're able to, have family or, community. In the place of community, all that's left is falsehood and occultic behavior. Oh God. God. I don't know what the heck to do. It's such a fucking nightmare. I'll be honest, a lot of times I can't help but think why oh why didn't I take the blue pill. Waking up to the bullshit in the world, how fake shit is, it's like it's the it's one of the most miserable, terrible, horrendous things you can possibly fucking do. It's like subjecting yourself to extreme torture and then being hated by everyone around you for it. The fucking like targeted individual shit, the kind of stuff I deal with. At times, I don't know. A lot of times, I get, kind of you. In some ways, you get used to it. In a way, yes, but in other ways, it's like you never get used to it. Really, I mean, you do, but you don't. Right? It's never right. Times when the perps are more aggressive and hateful towards me and stuff. When the targeting's ramped up a little bit, it's just like, nothing, no place feels safe, you know? You wouldn't believe how much I was harassed by perps during, when my grandma died and when my mom died. And how basically the rest of my family in this state abandoned me completely as soon as I had just begun to work and, to do the things that everybody expected of me, to work some job and try to build a credit score and, take care of myself. As soon as the inheritance ran out, I started working and covering my own bills. Everyone was gone. Mom's husband, it was like a father to me. He was like a father figure to me in a lot of ways. For many years, he was like my dad, when my dad hadn't been like my dad. My dad's been basically mostly, many times, highly abusive, and abusive. He's an overt / covert narcissist, basically. Highly fucking abusive and nasty to me a lot of the time, yeah. And gaslights the fuck out of me. And this is, it's just. I guess I'm kind of a strange case in a lot of ways. I was kind of more awake and aware of how fucked up things were from a somewhat early age. I started researching like conspiracy theory sort of shit when I was like 11 years old. Or when I was like 15, or I think it was 15 or 16 or something. I wrote like a poem about, I don't remember too much about it. It was something like, plastic street, talking wires, plastic people, and paper chains. And basically the idea was talking about how, like, everything seemed fake and the money was a tool for our enslavement. I wrote a poem like that because that's how I felt about it. When I was at the time in my life when I should have been going out and rushing to get a job, I had deeply ingrained belief that money was just a tool of our enslavement and that it was evil and we didn't want to be a slave. And then on top of that, no one ever fucking taught me anything about what to do or gave me any real useful guidance of any kind whatsoever. when I was younger, I thought I could put off getting a job and finding a career and figuring all that stuff out. I was just chasing after women, trying to get laid and going out having to have fun or whatever. And I got wrapped up. I got like, I was kind of surrounded by all the worst kinds of influences, for years. I'm still in the same area around the same sort of shit. It's a million times worse than it used to be. The really weird, crazy thing, sort of, though, is like pretty much all the dudes I hung out with, or most of them, most of the people I hung out with for years, like, they're still out, running a gun and getting fucking stoned and all that kind of shit all the time. They actually have, in many ways, better quality of life than I do. They're out still having fun. They got girlfriends or wives. They got, free or cheap housing through HUD or SSI, or dating some woman that takes care of all the bills for them or something, or whatever, right? And I've just been alone for years. Yeah, fuck you, train. Coming by, blow your whistle at 6 in the morning. Yeah, the fucking trains are annoying as shit, dude. You just sort of get used to it, I guess. Do, but you don't. Sleep through fucking train, fucking going right past my head. The damn train's down. Know what I told him he could do with this railroad? Alright. What the heck am I gonna do? But I feel like I'm stuck in a world, in a society, and just a financial situation here where and it's been this way for a long time. Stuck in a situation where my life has been put on hold. I don't know. Other people, many of them really nasty, horrendous people, are like soaring forward in life like they're strapped to a fucking rocket ship or something. And I'm stuck in this like fucking hell where I never get to have a goddamn life. Where I can't even fucking rest and take proper care of myself because I can't fucking afford to. Fucking drinking myself to death with these goddamn benders, you know? I'm in a situation so fucking isolated alone that I don't know, I've mentioned before that like I don't even have like references from anyone because I don't know anybody I don't really hardly know anybody, and the people that I have known over the years, basically, every single one of them would look like a terrible reference on paper because they're the only people I've been surrounded by at all for years have been like, you know, criminal minded, you know, felonious drug addicts and shit, basically, which I'm not. I don't hang out with these people anymore, but like that's just the only people that have been around. That's been my neighbors and my, you know, the people that were out and about hanging around and stuff. You know, it's been those. But they don't even fucking like me, really. You know, times in the past they'd hang around me when I was drunk or high or whatever, just so they could, you know, so they could use me. Like when I was younger, they were around because they wanted somebody to be their personal taxi. They wanted somebody to, you know, that they could sponge off for cigarettes or weed or beer, you know, whatever. Somebody that they could make fun of. Or, yeah. I don't know, man. I just want to freaking. It messes with me, man. I mean, I'm going on 42 years old. And I have no idea what to do with myself, what to do with to to improve my station in life, to crawl out of the fucking muck that I'm stuck in. I don't see how I could ever possibly own a home or how I could even continue to afford to have an apartment. I don't know, man. I'm kind of disturbed in a lot. I'm disturbed by how fucked up the world is a big part of it. And I haven't really had anyone around to teach me how to do, you know, anything, and shit doesn't seem to work out for me, you know. I mean, I hate to admit it, but I need fucking help. I need help. I mean, I almost feel like I ought to be in a fucking nursing home or something, or like a disabled person or something, basically. Because I'm not made to fucking get by in this goddamn world. This world's fucked up, man. It's fucked up and it's evil. And it's a fucking rigged game where I'm getting nowhere, you know? I've been doing I've been making deliveries, you know, working as a delivery driver, a gig worker for the past several years, you know. Before that, my whole life, I've never had like a steady job. The closest thing I ever had to a steady job was probably like a 5 day long temp job or something. Mostly I used to buy and sell shit. You know, I'd flip stuff off on Craigslist or whatever. And I would fix computers and build computers and sell the computers, you know, and I'd get free old computer parts, a bunch of broke down computers, and I'd fix them and sell them, and I'd do occasional moving jobs. I'd turn in cans. I'd you know take stuff to the pawn shop or whatever the fuck, right? That's how I got by and had do some chores for beer money or something, you know. That was like how I was living basically. It hurts. I feel lost. I don't know what to do. Trying to work or whatever. It's just, how do people do this shit, you know? Especially without people around, without some sort of sense of community, some sort of support network, people that fucking care about you, you know? Without having real, like, friends and family that give a shit about you around, people that are supportive, you know? It just seems like, what's the fucking point, you know? I wish I could go back and do things differently because, knowing what I know now, if I would have done different when I was younger, I wouldn't be in this situation, you know? I could have had a home and maybe had a wife, etc., you know? I could have probably made enough money and everything to be able to have a home, you know? If I would have got to work when I was like 16 and knowing what I know now, done things to build my credit score up and would just work some fucking, even shit minimum wage job for number of years, 5, 6 years or something. By the time I was in my early 20s, I could have fucking owned a home of some sort, at least like a mobile home or something somewhere. But I mean, shit, and my parents could have got me on, probably could have got me on disability when I was a fucking teenager. They didn't. I applied when I was, like, I don't know, in my early 20s or something. And even like the doctor that they sent me to, when I asked, well, what do you think? You think I'd get disability? She said, yeah, I think so. Honestly, man, I mean, I'll admit it, man. If I was to come completely clean to like about the stuff I think about and the stuff I know, to like a psychiatrist or something, a psychiatrist would have me diagnosed with all sorts of disorders or whatever, I'm sure. What the hell am I gonna do? In the more immediate, I don't know that my stomach is healthy enough for me to go out and make deliveries today, but I need to get out there as soon as I can, make more money to try and be able to cover the fucking bills for October. You know, yeah, I'll tell you, I mean, I'm not suicidal. And one of the reasons for that is I really can't help but wonder when I look around at this world and how fucked up everything is, if I'm not already dead in hell, because things are so fucking screwed up. things got really weird. Like even when my parents got divorced, uh, there was like a major shift. For one thing, the type of people I was surrounded by massively changed when I went to go live with my mom, and my dad went and moved to some big city. And I mean, he was kind of a total dick to me and stuff back then, even too, but maybe less than he is now. But I don't know, man. Like the city folk or whatever, like a whole different breed, from me, growing up out in the. I grew up out in the country, surrounded by like, you say good Christian folks, country people, farmers, loggers, stuff like that, right? You get into a city and suddenly I'm just surrounded by like criminal-minded druggies and fucking weirdos, and everybody's nasty and rude and manipulative, and vindictive, and that's just part of it though. Like there's so many things that are so fucked up for me in my life, right? Like I know some people have it worse, but I mean, my situation where I find myself now, it's like an ultimate fall from grace, fall from. I mean, man, like I said, man, my apartment that I live in now is literally like smaller than the bathroom in the house that I grew up in. And I'm paying like a fucking $900 and some a month for this shit. It's getting to where I can't even hardly afford to be able to like make enough money to even cover the fucking bills here. And we're talking about an amount of money where doing the same thing I do now, I used to make more than that just on DoorDash alone every week. Like I made enough in a week to where I wouldn't have had to do deliveries for at all for the next 3 weeks if I just wanted to cover the bills. And now it's like, I don't know, I've fallen into binge drinking. That's a pretty big fuck up, but I wasn't having as much of a problem with that sort of thing before because I had more encouragement, you know. Like a few years ago when I went out to do deliveries or whatever, right? If I put in the effort and put in the work, I would be rewarded financially and I would get ahead. And it was like that, before I moved in here, and for the first, I don't remember how many months after I moved in here, it was like that. But it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know how many fucking months I've been in a situation where, like, just only through miracle have I not been ended up homeless so far. It's just, I don't know what to do. The prospect of potentially becoming homeless and up living in my car or something is all that much more stressful because of how we live in a world that's so goddamn sadistic and so damn cruel and so inhumane that, like, human beings are treated worse than fucking animals. If you're poor, like, the powers that be, the majority of people and the fucking government and everything just doesn't even want to let you have the right to even be able to get a nap in your fucking car. Like, criminalize poverty. They beat you down and force you into poverty and then criminalize you for being poor. You're poor because you're getting robbed blind by everybody, basically. Damn it, it's just so fucking frustrating. One of the most frustrating parts is the fact that my dad, and then most people in general won't even acknowledge. They don't even seem to notice or care, or they won't even acknowledge how different things used to be compared to what it is now. I mean, like, this apartment I'm renting now I'm paying down there $900 for shit. Back in the fucking 90s or early 2000s, this shit probably would have been like $50 a month. And I could have made at least half of what I'm making now. Just working some basic minimum wage job or something. Part-time shit. No, I mean, really, if I had even a part-time minimum wage job back then, I could have afforded this place, and I could have afforded to be able to travel all over the place anytime I want, take time off, and I would have been able to save like 90% or more than 90% of my fucking income. Just stacking it in savings or buying cool things. Yeah. Now just trying to have a roof over my head fucking in a situation where I have nothing left or nothing. It seems completely rigged and fake, you know. I found this YouTube channel, I don't remember when, a few days or a week ago or something. And it was unique. It's a couple, a guy and his girlfriend or wife or whatever the heck. And they're both targeted individuals. Or he is, and he got her to believe him or something. And they also do like DoorDash type stuff. They also do deliveries, you know, like work and shit. We talked about how the perps would like, they were doing something to their phone, doing something to make it lower. It's almost impossible for them to make any money. Also talked about how like it seemed like a huge organized effort to try to break them up and try to keep them from having any kind of happiness or family, you know. And I've experienced that sort of thing in my relationships in the past. One of the reasons why I kind of stopped trying as much, because it was like every time I would get a girlfriend and things would be going well for a while, suddenly she would, you know, without even realizing it, would start getting gang stalked by people. There, she would meet some new friends or whatever that would fuck with her head, and then next thing you know, she'd seem like a completely different person, like she was demon possessed or something. And I mean, I'm talking like intense shit, dude. A lot of really weird stuff. No, I mean, there's definitely like some kind of forces, like, I don't know, demonic or whatever the heck, that has screwed with me in so many freaking ways, on so many levels. And I know, like, prayer has helped, but only, for the most part, it's pretty freaking minimal how much prayer helps. It's like, I mean, I have to, like, bow and scrape and beg and pray and beg and pray my ass off like crazy just for a little bit of relief that leaves me just enough to barely scrape by, basically. And it's weird too, because like when it's more actively, openly like this God and the devil sort of stuff going on, it's fucking weird as heck. Like I'll have, and I see a lot more of that, super obviously religious themed sort of weird shit more when I start like praying or listening to sermons or something like that. All of a sudden it's like all kinds of like demonic sort of shit. Suddenly everywhere I go I'm seeing, satanic pentagrams and Baphomets everywhere, and if I pray and pray and pray and pray and pray like crazy, pray my butt off, then it's like, oh look, I'll have it. Like if I have a good day or something, all of a sudden, where things sort of work out and I manage to do all right, right? I begged and prayed or whatever for a better day or something. I'll go out and now all of a sudden there's a car or a pickup truck or a bunch of different ones with 316 in the license plate driving right in front of me, you know? And I'm delivering to a bunch of addresses that, have like a number that's adjacent to 316 and like 315 or 317 or something. All the street names are like Joy, Kingdom, you know, stuff like that. And the people I'm delivering to are named Joseph, Isaac, Abraham, Jacob, Noah, you know, stuff like that. Angel. Then the devil step in, start fucking with me, and the radio starts playing Highway to Hell or something. You switch stations, it's another fucking sort of satanic sort of song fucking playing, and then you see the fucking sports car, expensive sports cars pull out in front of you with 666s and license plates and satanic pentagrams on the fucking window, and get an order for somebody where the offer is $6.66 and you're delivering to Locust Avenue or some shit. Yeah, it just. No, some of it's themed. Like, I swear to God, when I'm out making deliveries, like, it's. For the most part, it all feels totally fake and scripted. And a lot of times it's very personal. Like, the synchronicity shit's weird. Like, just an example of something that's, kind of recent, like over this last few weeks or last month or whatever, right? I saw this meme on somewhere, I don't know, YouTube or something. There was just like a picture of like an orange SUV or something, right? And it said, pumpkin spice car or something like that, right? And ever since I saw that meme, I started to see these pumpkin spice colored vehicles everywhere I went, like every fucking day. That's just like a basic example. There's so much freaking weird shit, dude. Like one day, I was watching like westerns, like one western after another, old western movies and stuff like that. And Tombstone was the last one I watched, right? And then I turned on the delivery apps to go do deliveries, or like I was doing DoorDash that day, right? And first order is delivering to a guy named Wyatt, who was delivering some food to a guy named Wyatt at a shooting range. And then the next one was delivering to a guy, I don't remember his name, but you know, it was something like, you know, Jesse, or you know, some other Western outlaw's name or whatever. And the street, Dodge Street, you know. And it went on like similar shit like that for like an hour or two or something that day. There was like a bunch of Western outlaw names, and or Western, you know, Western characters and Western themed street names and everything. There's been weird shit like that. I don't know if I remember. I told you like back in like, I don't know, 2020 or something. Maybe it was 2019. I found out that I was like related to Daniel Boone or something. My dad told me something like that because he had done the ancestry DNA or whatever the heck. Right after I found that, right after he told me that, right, I went out to the living room and my mom and John were watching the Munsters was on, and Herman and Eddie Munster were wearing coonskin caps, and Herman's telling Eddie, you know, we're related to Daniel Boone. And then sometime like a week later, I had got the episodes of the Daniel Boone TV show or whatever. Right, I started watching it, and I paused it. My sister's birthday was coming up. I went to go bake a cake, and I got all the ingredients put together, and I put the cake in the oven. Then I went back to the room and I unpaused it, and the episode starts playing something which doesn't even make sense. But the Daniel Boone's wife was like saying, "Oh, where is that girl?" And talking about wanting to bake a cake, or talking about baking a cake. But it was like she was talking about some daughter, but the weird. I'm not even kidding you, but you know, obviously the weird thing about that is I don't even think there is a daughter in the freaking Daniel Boone show. So it was like extra weird, you know? Next day she came over and got KFC. On the way back from KFC, I look up at the clouds and there's like letters being drawn in clouds, like something trying to spell something out, or abbreviations or something, or I don't know what, in the fucking clouds. I kept trying to get my sister's attention and say, "Do you see that? Do you see that? Hello, hey, hey, hey." And she's just like spacing out. Kind of saw it at the last minute as it was starting to dissipate, but One thing that's been a common theme has been license plates having like abbreviations or words in them and stuff. Like a couple years back, I was out to doing DoorDash on like my birthday, and pulled up to a stop sign, and two cars in front of me, and the two different lanes in front of me, uh, had my initials and my birthday and the license plates. And then I drive a little ways up the street, and they're building the construction crew or whatever building this apartment complex. And the name of their company and the symbol that they have on their sweater is my initials. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What the fuck is that? I don't know, man. I just want to go. I just want to be able to have have a somewhat decent life, you know. I know what the hell happened to me, you know, my own personal situation. I mean, I guess I never should have wished to be awake to know what's going on in the world. I'd be better off if I was a mask wearing, television watching news believer on my 9th booster, you know? Because at least then I would be acceptable to the rest of the society, and heck, maybe I'd even have a steady girlfriend or a wife. Maybe I'd have a home. People would approve of my existence, you know?